Welcome back, everyone, to the broadcast. Today, we're diving into um, Kanye West
Yes.
and kind of like everything that's been going on surrounding his autism diagnosis.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at all the news and all the discussions surrounding it
Right.
to really unpack what he said and what it all means.
Yeah, and it's been sparking a lot of conversation, so it's interesting to delve into it.
So first off, like just to get it out there,
Yeah.
Kanye West has received a confirmed autism diagnosis.
Yes, that's right.
And this is kind of interesting considering he previously had a bipolar diagnosis.
Exactly. And his wife, Bianca Censori,
Okay.
has encouraged him to kind of, look into that diagnosis and see,
Yeah.
question it.
And that's interesting in and of itself because like
Yeah.
the potential for misdiagnosis between autism and bipolar disorder is
Yeah.
it's there.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that like I think we could all learn a little bit more about.
Definitely.
But getting back to Kanye, so like how has he been describing how this diagnosis has impacted his life?
Well, he's been pretty vocal about it.
Yeah.
And it's been really interesting to see how he's framing it.
Yeah.
He's actually like
Well, and specifically,
yeah.
I was curious about how he feels it's impacted his creative process.
Oh, right. Yeah. So he's actually directly connected it
Yeah.
to his art and his
Oh,
music.
cool.
And there's this one quote where he said, and I'm paraphrasing it, but essentially he said that his autism is like a superpower that lets him see the world in a different way.
Wow.
Yeah. And, he sees that as the source of his artistic vision.
So it's like his unique perspective that's
Yeah.
fueling all this creativity.
Right.
That's really powerful.
And it's sparked a lot of conversation,
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I was going to say, like, his coming out and talking about this
Yeah.
has generated just a ton of discussion.
Yeah. It's been really interesting to see how people are responding to it.
What are some of the things that are being discussed?
Well, on one hand,
Yeah.
a lot of people are talking about like the importance of open dialogue
Yeah.
when it comes to mental health and autism.
Right. And just,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
destigmatizing these things.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and Kanye being such a public figure and sharing his experience,
Right.
I think for a lot of people it makes it feel more relatable.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
there are also some concerns
Oh,
about like self-diagnosis and things like that.
interesting.
Because, he didn't go into detail about how he gave this diagnosis.
Right.
So there's a worry that, people might misinterpret it
Oh, that's a good point.
or downplay the importance of,
Yeah.
professional evaluation.
Yeah. Like you don't want people to just be like, oh, well, Kanye said,
Exactly.
I'm just going to assume that this is what's going on.
Yeah, and it's a complex issue for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to remember that,
Yeah.
it's his personal experience and we
Yeah.
should respect that.
Yeah. I think that that's a great point too. Like, regardless of
Yeah.
how the diagnosis came about or,
Right.
or how, how we feel about, certain aspects of it, like
Yeah.
it's definitely, sparked this conversation and it's making people think about.
Exactly. And I think that's a good thing to
Yeah.
have these conversations.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's, it's
Yeah.
important to consider how, someone with his platform,
Right.
like Kanye, might actually be influencing
Yeah.
how society views these things.
Yeah, and how we perceive neurodiversity.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear from our listeners, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
How might this be shifting the way that we view autism?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? It's also worth noting the role that Bianca played in this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Her encouraging Kanye to really explore his mental health further.
Yeah.
I think that really highlights the importance of having
Yeah.
a supportive network.
Yeah. Having people around you that understand and support you. That
Exactly.
can be so invaluable.
Yeah, especially when you're facing personal challenges.
For sure.
And I think, if we zoom out
Yeah.
and look at the bigger picture,
Yeah.
this whole situation really prompts us to consider empathy and understanding.
Yeah.
Everyone experiences the world differently.
Yeah.
And it's through these open conversations
Yeah.
and a willingness to learn
Yeah.
that we can create a more inclusive
Yeah.
and supportive society.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
I think that's such a
Yeah.
powerful thought to end on.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.